Here we go. Episode number 2 and 3. 2, 1.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome to everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, a stuttering Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie!
Yo, cause.
Hey, that's got to be a little louder.
Yo, cause.
What's on your mind?
Hey, I apologize that I haven't changed in a week.
Seriously?
I'm still wearing the same clothes. Haven't been able to get down to the laundromat to do some laundry. Sorry if I don't want you to hold it against me if I'm wearing the same clothing as I wore in the last episode, because it's been a full week.
Yeah.
Since we've done our last show together.
Yep. An entire week has gone by,
Yes.
and I haven't left my chair. I stayed right here. I've actually kind of merged and meshed with the chair. So
I bet it smells terrific.
it smells like a gym sock with mayonnaise and pickles in the hot July sun out here in Philadelphia. But
Smells like a dirty diaper full of Indian food.
smells like Bigfoot's dick. But welcome, sir, to you. Thank you very much. We already off the top here. Darren Staley, got to mention this one. Stuttering John Barnard. That's right, sir. Bigfoot. Howard Stern's asshole. But
Did you ever fart in the catcher's face?
we're here, good sir,
Yeah.
today to start the program
Oh,
Yo,
wow.
cause.
with a question, sir.
And what would that be?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask me anything. Ask me something.
Wrestling shit.
I can't remember what regular air smells like.
Yo, asshole, I don't fucking sound like that.
Yes, you do. Every week, yeah, as you know, we end the show each and every week with a question segment where we ask Meanie your questions that you send us directly either here, on our Twitter page, on our Facebook pages. And today is a full Ask Meanie Anything, sir. What you sipping on this evening?
Today I have the Canada Dry Mandarin Orange, sir.
I like that. That looks amazing.
And I have one on standby just in case I go through this one through too quick.
As always, I have my my knockoff shit from Aldi. Shout out to the good folks at Aldi. I have my Sparkling Frost Pink Grapefruit Drink. We're going to go ahead and crack these suckers here in 3, 2, 1. Yay. Oh, yeah. Cheers, beers. Pinkies up. Well, yeah. Appreciate
The
that.
bubbles.
A little seltzer kiss there. Darren Staley says, I'm mostly here to make stern references that almost no one will get, sir.
Except
Let me
for
tell you
us.
We will get that for you, sir. So,
Yes.
Vanessa says, I feel like I'm in a Shelley Long movie. Hello again.
Hello again.
We got a lot of good questions here. I'm going to start actually with this one from Darren Staley because this is like a show related, like back of house inside baseball question. Executive producer, I get. Executive voice. So that's actually a joke. So Sam Krebs is a friend of mine. I've known him since college. He's the godson of he's the godfather rather of my oldest son, James. Wonderful guy.
Godson of your son. How'd he pull that off?
It's science. It's a whole fucking thing. When you go back and you look at the time differentials, it's kind of fucking nuts. But
Yeah.
I digress. Sam's a wonderful dude. And he's also a voiceover artist, and he works in radio, and he's done a lot of things. So when I came on, took over the show, as co-host here in 2021, I thought, well, let's do something fun and have him announce and do the credits for us. And it just became a thing where it was like, well, what do I call you? Because you're not producing the show. And it was like, well, we'll call you the executive voice. So that's where that came from. But no, Sam's a great guy. He does all our reads for us, and he does a lot of ad reads on Foundation Radio. And he is also famous for working at Red 102.3 out here in Harrisburg as Sam Sterling on a country station for many years. So if you can go find those recordings anywhere, I'll give you $1. But That's where the executive voice name came from. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that, sir.
Very cool.
Jesse Brown just cracked the top of an ice cold blue Coors. Drink up, sir.
There
Drink
you
them if you got them. We appreciate you. Jesse also says, old dirty meanie. That's right. Maddie Jazz Cabbage is here. He says, now you got to go change, come back in full meanie regalia. That would be fun. Yep, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. Doubleheader, baby. That's right. You know what it is. You know what time it is, good sir. We got a lot of good questions here. It should keep us running through the show. Let's start here with the boss. Meanie, it closed in 2018, but have you ever been to John's Bar and Grill, birthplace of Larry from the Three Stooges?
I have not, but the mural's still there.
Mm-hmm.
It's right off of 2nd and South Street.
Yep.
Right across. It's across from a bar. A place that used to be a bar I used to go to called Mako's. Right there on the second and South. It's right next to Lorenzo's. If you've ever been to South Street, Lorenzo's Pizza. Which I haven't been there since they burnt down and reopened, but I gotta give them a shout out. No, but John's the mural's still there. Hopefully, I don't know if it's been marked as a historical landmark. Given that Larry was born there, but unfortunately, I never ate there. I've always had a slice and stared at the mural from Lorenzo's at like 2 a.m, half hammered, staring at the mural and eating a giant slice of pizza from Lorenzo's. Their slices are like big as my head,
I can't wait to go back there and eat it again in the summer, man. I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I wish South Street was as cool as it used to be, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Matt from Dover wants to know who should have been an ECW champion that wasn't.
That's a great question. Let me think of who wasn't a champion. I mean, Stevie would have made a good champion had he stuck around. Man, Jerry Lynn won it eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who wasn't champion. That's the hard part. Just Taz was champion.
Do you want me to pull up the list of ECW champions from back then?
Yeah, but I mean, I got to think of who did win it. That was in the company. It's a great question. Great question. Rob Van Dam held the belt, right? Yeah. He was
Rob. I don't think Rob held the belt until he came to WWE until they rebooted it. Let me see here.
That's right. He was TV champion.
Yeah, we're gonna go past like the actual Eastern Championship Wrestling. We're just talking like proper ECW. You got the Sandman, Mikey Whipwreck, Raven, Terry Funk, Sabu, Shane Douglas, Bam Bam Bigelow, Taz, Mike Awesome, Masato Tanaka, Tommy Dreamer, Just Incredible, Jerry Lynn, Steve Corino, and the final proper ECW champion was Rhino.
Yeah, so like
Rob feels like the right name there, right?
Yeah, Rob would be the right name. I am. Probably have to say Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, I feel like Rob is...
If you include Eastern as well, it's crazy to think Tito Santana was a champion.
Yeah.
And I think Don Morocco.
Don Morocco's on that list, and so is Jimmy Snuka.
Jimmy Snuka. As we say in Philly, Snuka.
Snuka, Jimmy Snuka.
Yeah, we had the CH there. Or the CH. Snuka. Yeah, that's Jimmy Snuka. I guess I would have to say Rob. It's hard to believe Rob wasn't champion,
Yeah.
Out of that list of people. Stevie would have been good at champion as well, like I said before. Great question. It had to make me think there. It smells like burning wood in here, Me trying to think if
there's anybody else. I mean, obviously, like New Jack probably would have been fun as champion. Like, I'm sure that could have been a fucking wild ride. Yeah.
Yeah. If Dr. Dusty Williams would have stuck around for a little bit, I would like to have seen him, win the ECW championship, because then that you would have had a lineage between the UWF belt, which was one of my favorite promotions of all time. Bill Watts' UWF. I have somebody who's in the UWF and ECW. Hold the same. Hold like each company's championships, I should say. So, but yeah, that's a great fucking question.
Thank you, good sir. We appreciate you, Matt, for
Stump
asking.
The Meanie.
What's that?
Stump the Meanie.
Stump the Meanie, like stump the buoy, stump the Meanie.
Dude,
Vanessa,
that's one thing I wish I would have done was stump the buoy. I think I could have gave Baba Booey a run for his money.
Fla fla flee flow. Vanessa Villa said Sabu. Sabu actually was champion, I believe.
Yep.
He was ECW champion at one point. Thank you for the question, good sir. We appreciate you. The David here says, if there was one championship you wish you could have held, which one would it be?
Like of any
promotion you've ever wrestled. Let's game it out. Any promotion you've ever wrestled, one that you wish you would have held.
I would have loved to held the ECW tag belts. Either me and Stevie or me or Nova. And I think had WWE not come knocking when they did, and I had stayed in ECW, I have a feeling me and Nova probably would have had at least one shot at the holding the belts.
Yeah.
Because there's a period of time where me and Nova were having some really good matches, and my last match in is me, Nova, and Chetty against Roadkill, Skull Von Crush, and one other person. I'm blanking. Big Vito, Skull Von Crush. So Big Vito, Roadkill, and one other guy. Maybe Danny Doring. I forget. But like we had the match. We get back to the locker room. We first of all, we finished the match. We go over. Crowd gives us an ovation, which is really cool. Like a respect, like it didn't pop. They got up and gave us an ovation. Like that was really a good match because everybody in that match worked. The guys we faced and us, we all just we worked our asses off in that match, and we got back to the locker room and got a little bit of an ovation.
Yeah.
And at intermission, sound guy Randy, who did the music for ECW, he wears a headset, and he came down to me and Nova and said, Paul said on the headset, he's like, they did it again, as in like me and Nova, probably had one of the better matches of the night.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have to tell us that Paul said that on the headset. Paul's headset went to the sound guy, went to the cameraman and all that stuff. And he said that over the headset, they did it again. And that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. I wish you guys, I feel like, was there any reason why you never won the tag team belts? Was it just timing?
I don't know. I know there was talks earlier, in the beginning of my ECW run that me and Stevie might have, gotten a shot at Hold'em just, for heat purposes.
Right.
When Stevie and Raven won the tag belts, Stevie would run out, before the cameras were rolling, just jump up and down with the tag belt, just to get the crowd riled up and powder out.
Yeah.
But I don't know how true it was. I heard there was, thoughts of me and Stevie holding the tag belts. But I don't know. I think if I had stuck around, there would have been a shot of us holding those tag belts.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Let's see. The boss has another question here. Question for both of you. Have either of you kept up with WWE ranking its 50 best Mania matches on YouTube? If so, what's your reaction to the current list?
I have not. But now you've given me something to go look for.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I hate lists too.
Yeah.
I purposely don't look at lists. If I look at a guitar list and Eddie Van Halen's not in the top 5, I call bullshit on it immediately. Look, to me, Eddie Van Halen's number 1 in the world, right?
Of course.
But I'll give you Jimi Hendrix. I'll give you Jimmy Page. I'll give you Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
I'll give you Stevie Ray Vaughan. But to me, Eddie's the best. I'll give you Clapton and Hendrix and Jimmy Page because they influenced Eddie.
Yeah.
That's why I hate lists, because it's just basically just a a fucking opinion, you know?
Yeah, I'm actually pulling it up right now. I apologize if there's any noise on here. No, I muted it. Okay, so right now,
Sure, yeah. Let's call it in the ring, pal.
call it the ring, pal. Let's see. It says 2 unavailable videos are hidden. Interesting. I guess they got something coming. So right now, let me see. They're at 50. So it's Cody and Seth, which was his return. Sting versus Triple H at number 49. I'm just calling some out here as I see it. Mr. T and Hogan against Piper and Orndorff is 56. The Boneyard match is on here at 41. Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle at 38. Honestly, I feel like that should probably be higher.
Yeah.
That's a fucking clinic and a half, yo.
Just that finish alone.
Yeah, man. That should have been much higher.
That finish, you look at the technicality of how they finished that match.
Yeah.
That was hard to do. So.
Yes. Let's see. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. That's his retirement match. That's at 34.
What?
Ric Flair and Randy Savage is at 33. Edge versus The Undertaker at 29. The Mega Powers match is at 27. Excuse me. Steve Austin and KO at 24. Undertaker and Punk at 23.
Hold on. Just Austin and KO are what number?
24. So it's only up to number 20 right now. They haven't released everything yet, but Undertaker and Punk is at 23. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels at 22. Really? That seems like it should be much higher.
This is why I hate lists.
That doesn't seem right to me. But again, it's I guess
criticize it because I want to sound like I'm criticizing the performers.
no,
I think it should be lower on the list. But there's some matches that I think just should be higher.
Cody and Seth versus Roman and The Rock at number 20. I'm sorry, I got to disagree with that. Me personally, I think Guerrero and Angle is a much better match than that. That's just that. I mean, that's two legendary performers.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ring. I mean, that's you got to that's crazy. But the other thing I think they're not going to, I want people to temper their expectations here too, folks, because you're not going to see the one match with Hunter and Shawn and the other guy on that list. You're not.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
So just put that baby to bed right now because it's not going to be there. Was it a great technical match? Yes, absolutely. It was the second part to the story of that WrestleMania. Does he deserve to be celebrated? No, it's not going to happen. So let's temper all that. And again, make your own list. But again, I agree with you, Meanie. That's why I don't really do lists like that because I'm always like, I don't know, that seems wrong. So let's see.
Did that person just start watching wrestling?
I was going to say who made this list? And again, there's a lot on there that's going to, like, I'm sure Brett and Owen will probably be up there at some point. Like that's going to be up in that list. It has to be.
Steamboat Savage.
Oh my God, yeah. So you got Steamboat Savage. Yeah, listen to me.
Yes.
Steamboat Savage. You have Brett and Owen. You have Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. You have
all three of those, man. Dad, it's trilogy, right?
Uh-huh. You have who else? What other good ones? Austin and Bret Hart, which is like that's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a match. Yeah. They're inducting matches into the Hall of Fame now.
Interesting.
Which is I'm not sure how that works, but
I'm not against it.
No, I'm not either. Honestly, you know what?
Savage and DiBiase.
Yeah, that was another good one.
I was having I was getting my hair cut today, and we're talked to one of the guys there. It's a wrestling fan, and it was like, and he took the words right out of my mouth. He's like, I'm missing wrestling flash bulbs. When the fans are taking photos and you see the flash bulbs going, I was like, dude, watch Randy Savage come off the top rope to hit DiBiase with that elbow.
Yeah.
Watch the crowd. Watch the flash bulbs. The fans will tell you what's a moment.
Audrey's outside here making noise. She says hello to everybody. Darren Staley says Magnum TA and Tully's I Quit match must go into the Hall of Fame of matches.
Yeah.
Unless they're just going to do WWE.
No.
Valentine and Piper. No, you know what, Darren? I would say that if it was and Meanie, you can say on this too. I feel like if it was Vince that was in control of the Hall of Fame still, I think it would just strictly be WWE. But I think with Hunter in charge of all this now, I think and because they own that library, right? Like that's a huge thing. I think they're probably going to add those other matches in because they are really part of wrestling history.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's the right call. Mike Jr. wants to know who's your favorite Phillies player and why is it Lenny Dykstra?
I liked Lenny before he went nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking, we're doing a convention at the ECW Arena. And for some odd reason, Lenny Dykstra was there.
That's weird.
And him and Sandman kept powdering it, going out to the back to maybe smoke cigarettes or whatever. And we're like, oh shit, Sandman's going to kill Lenny Dykstra.
He's going to murder him.
No, just like whatever. If they're going to do gimmicks,
yeah,
Sandman's going to outlive everybody. But,
seriously.
But yeah, he was there. Proper nickname Nails,
Yep.
The 93 Phillies team's legendary. My God. Kruk, Williams, Dykstra, Eisenreich, Dalton.
Oh man, Eisenreich, man. Damn.
Dude, go on YouTube and look up the 93 Phillies video yearbook called Whatever It Takes, dude. I did an article for Sports Illustrated comparing the 93 Phillies to ECW.
Wow. Oh yeah.
And that was pretty cool because and ECW started around 92, 93, same time as the Phils, and bunch of misfits.
Yep.
A bunch of misfits that no other team wanted, or a bunch of wrestlers, no other promoters wanted, and went on to do something very cool for a short period of time. So yeah, I like Lenny, but I would probably have to say I'm more of a Kruk guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Pete Incaviglia laying out the fucking catcher at the home plate.
Yep.
The guy thought he was going to stand there and stop Pete Incaviglia.
Good luck, man.
He does fucking floored him, surprised they didn't, use the chalk they used for the baselines to do a chalk outline,
Speaking of the Phillies, Lane from Philly has a question for you. Your favorite Phillies team of all time?
Yeah.
Got some good ones tonight, man.
Like I said, it would have to probably be the 93 Phillies, even though they didn't even win the World Series. 08 was great too as well. 08 I love, for the fact that they won the World Series in my timeline, where I can actually remember 1980 I vaguely remembered them winning the World Series.
Yep.
93, that was just a magical year all around. So many things happened in 93 that with me preparing to go off to become a pro wrestler and saving my money to getting a job to save up so I could become a professional wrestler, and just watching that Phillies run all the way through to the very bitter end.
Yep.
I would have to, just for character wise, I'll still go back and watch some of those old games.
Yeah.
I remember the double header they had where it went to, it was a double header. The opening game got delayed by rain, and they started the second game at 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. It ended at 4 in the morning.
I remember that.
And here's the funny thing: like, people were like, people are going to the bar. They left the bar. They're like, oh shit, they're still playing. Let's go down to the stadium. And they were just letting people in for free to watch the second part of the game.
That's crazy. That was a summer game, wasn't it? Because I remember that. I remember falling asleep on the sofa and being like, waking up at some point, like, wait, are they still playing?
Yeah. The kicker is they had a fucking 1 o'clock game the next day.
Oh my God.
And the other kicker is
that's worse than a hangover.
The winning hit in the second game of that doubleheader was from Mitch Williams, who was the relief pitcher. So just that 1993, it's amazing. Yeah, as Andrew Bailey says in the chat, Joe Carter ruined my childhood. I take solace in the fact that I heard he was a shitty person.
Yep. Heard he's a real shitbag.
I have a friend in Toronto. We went up to Toronto a few years ago, pre-lockdown, visiting some friends and riding around. My buddy works in media up there, and he's like, he had to work with Joe Carter. He said Joe Carter was the biggest shitbag. So fuck him.
It doesn't surprise me, man. Greg Alker. Oh yeah, he's here. He's not. I guess he's done with his mannequin date. Greg is here. Phillies Franks gave away a pair of Phil's ticket with each package.
Yeah,
good man.
Yeah. I don't know. I know Eagles games got blacked out if they didn't sell enough tickets, but yeah, if you bought a pack of Phillies Franks, you get a free pair of tickets to a Phillies game.
Yeah, I remember that. Those were the good days, man.
Yeah.
We got 2 more questions in the chat here. And again, thank you everybody for sending your questions and sticking around with us on this episode here. Got another good one from Matt from Dover. Should Sting be allowed to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame this year? And I apologize for whatever reason I felt the need to say Lex Luger's name as if I was Arnold. But what do you think? What are your thoughts on Sting inducting Lex Luger?
Absolutely. Of course, he's under contract to AEW. And of course, there's things there's promotional wars going on between WWE, AEW, right? Of course, WWE planned a free Saturday night's main event against an AEW pay-per-view, this, that, and the other thing. But I mean, it's a Hall of Fame. It's for Lex Luger.
Yeah.
If there's a time to be the bigger man, Tony Khan can, just be like, hey, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I saw somewhere that WWE should ask for Christian for the swap or something like that. I remember when they was it Flair was going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame with the horse or something like that.
Something, yeah.
So WWE got Flair and TNA got Christian for the night. I forgot what the reference was for AEW. Like, I don't know. It just tickled me. But yeah, could Tony's well within his rights to say no, he's an employee for me, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he wants to be the bigger man and say absolutely, and let Sting go induct him, work out a deal where they have to promote an AEW thing. I don't know.
Something.
But absolutely, Lex Luger. I mean, Sting should be there to induct Lex Luger. And like I said, Tony he's well within his rights to say no. You guys have fucked with me long enough. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But years from now, Tony might have the thought of, man, yeah, I really should have let that happen. So he has the option to be the bigger man and the bigger baby face in this situation. And let Sting go induct him.
And our last question of the night comes from our new Pod Squad member, Jesse Brown.
What up, Jesse
Brown? Meanie, have you heard about the Ric Flair bill in North Kakalaki for a physical wrestling Hall of Fame? What are your thoughts?
I have not heard of that.
So I can actually give you the information right now.
Please do.
It says that the Ric Flair Act has been filed in the North Carolina Senate. It would earmark $500,000 to study the feasibility of creating a professional wrestling Hall of Fame museum. It's Senate Bill 404. It's just titled An Act to Remember Iconic Combatants Through Fostering Learning Awareness and Interest in Wrestling. And it would see $500K go to the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources in order to study the feasibility of a potential Hall of Fame. The report's expected by summer 26. This is from Yahoo Sports.
Okay.
And it says that several senators are sponsors of the bill. And it looks like WrestleZone and Yahoo Sports were covering this as well. So what are your thoughts? And it looks like actually Darren Staley, I want to know, are you from North Carolina and are you working on this bill as well? Because it looks like I think he's involved in the politics down there. Looks like what they're talking about here in the chat. So I'd be curious your take on that. But what are your thoughts, Meanie?
Hey man, I'm intrigued and I'm for it. Just hearing about it. North Carolina has a rich history in professional wrestling. And if you think about it, if the state sponsors it and they build it, what great way to raise funds for the state of North Carolina through people buying tickets to go to the Hall of Fame to check it out. And,
Yep.
It'd be great for tourism. If it's done right, I mean, God, how long did the Crockett's run the Carolinas?
Yep.
So, I'm absolutely in favor of that. That would be a great idea. I mean, there's already, there's 2 Hall of Fames. I believe there's one in upstate New York, and then there's the one in Waterloo, Iowa, which I keep meaning to go to. They have an event every July, and I can't go this, July, but maybe I'll aim for, 2026, maybe. Briscoe. Gerald Briscoe's always praising the Hall of Fame out there, at the Dan Gable Museum in Waterloo, Iowa. So I'm intrigued by that. So hopefully, I'm definitely going to look more into this. But yeah, I mean, PBS down in the Carolinas just did a documentary on Carolina wrestling. I believe it's When Giants Walked Here or something like that, which is a documentary I've been meaning to check out as well. It's online for free, so I don't know what's holding me from watching it. So if it's for free, it's for me. But back to this bill, absolutely. I'm definitely for it. Anything that helps promote wrestling.
Yeah.
But also, I think it would do great things for the state as far as raising funds. The money they put into doing this will definitely come back, multi times
for sure
over the decades.
Well, just again, like you said, with all the tourism about it, the tourism to an actual physical professional wrestling Hall of Fame would be massive, right? I mean, it would just be, it would be incredible. Looks like Darren Staley is in fact working on this. He says, "I'm all on it, trying to make sure it gets to Charlotte, which is absolutely the right place. There's a dumb idea to put it in Raleigh, but I'm fighting that right now." He's whipping co-sponsors. Don't whip them too hard. Trying to wrangle Arn, TA, and David Crockett in, which would be great. Definitely needs more attention. Lots of legislators think it's kind of a joke. That's a shame, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but no, I think I think this is the right thing. I think it's a great thing, and I think it could be great for the financial portion of it as well, just for the tourism and all the infrastructure that's down there. But I think we're long overdue for a physical, actual Hall of Fame of some kind, right?
Yeah.
Then I guess the question is, at that point, because WWE owns so much of that archive and so much of that, I don't even want to say the actual physical tape library, but maybe even like Ric Flair's robes and Magnum TA's things, like how much of that do they actually possess in that warehouse of theirs? And I'd be curious to see if they would be involved in it. I would imagine they would probably have to be, but
hey, look,
it's possible.
WWE is not stupid.
Yeah.
They know they're going to have to run shows in North Carolina. And what better way to gain favor with the state than help them curate things for their Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Whether it's, have a rotating queue of memorabilia, that they have in the warehouse, they could go down there. I mean, it would make sense. So when, hey, WWE goes to run in North Carolina, maybe they get a tax credit for running the state or something like that. And, I'm sure that, with Triple H at the helm, I believe WWE could definitely help in this situation,
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Darren, keep us posted on it. I would love to hear more about this as it comes up. If you follow us on Twitter, feel free to send us a message because I don't know how much I can do, but at least I can try to help get you connected with some people that I
if you post something on social media, tag me and then I'll just retweet it or whatever.
Definitely get it out there for you. But thank you for getting it out there, Meanie, and answering all the questions that our listeners and fans had to ask, the burning questions to ask Meanie. Don't forget, like I said, each and every week, we do a segment at the end of the show where you ask your questions and you hear Meanie answer them live. So, Meanie, I want to thank you as always, sir. We appreciate your time and your thoughtfulness on answering these questions. And good sir, it's that time of the night officially.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I need to know right off the top of the bat here, good sir, where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, a little mouth fart action, you go there. Nice little mouth fart.
I was going to be like, what the fuck was that?
That was a mouth fart.
Oh my God, it sounded like he shit out of his mouth.
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. To support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. Get yourself a BWO shirt. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, help to keep the lights on here, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MadCatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton. Josh Thornton doing an amazing job over there. All proceeds go to take care of the cats in his neighborhood. He rounds them up, takes them to the vet, releases them back better than he found them. So if you're a cat lover like myself, you want to look good, you want to smell good, go to MadCatBeardCare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. 2025. I got to fix those checks I just wrote. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game on Twitter. Figure collections, Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1's variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. You can get either regular Blue Meanie or BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no wrong choice. Cameo.com. Oh, I jumped ahead. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast. Book the Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site. Please don't book through the app. The app takes way too much money. So with that said, go to cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Let's make somebody's day a little bit brighter over there at cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Bernard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and I think sometimes TikTok. I'm not really sure. This is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go and check me out there. And also go ahead and check out my work at Screen Rant. Right now, screenrant.com. I will be in Las Vegas this upcoming week covering WrestleMania 41 for the team. Lots of fun stuff coming as well. Also, another surprise later in that week that is not wrestling related, but I can't tell you about it just yet until it comes out. So keep it tuned. So go check me out and all my work at screenrant.com. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go ahead and schedule your appointment today with Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team. At 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt today and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard home for troubled youth. Don't forget to go to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today Tiers start at just $10, and you get an actual signed Pod Squad card in blue ink, nonetheless, by the blue guy himself. So go and sign up today. YouTube.com/@MindTheMeanie. Go ahead and check out our entire archive of shows going all the way back to our very first shows together in 2021. So go and check it out there. And don't forget to follow the show's socials. They're listed at the bottom here. You can find us everywhere @MindTheMeanie. One last plug here. Don't forget to follow our friends at One True Sport. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a nice comment for us because we like nice comments. We don't like bad comments. We like good ones. So leave us a good one there. Only helps us with the show. And go pick up a shirt from them as well. They have a lot of great content over there. Arn Anderson, Magnum TA, I believe is, or I'm sorry, not Magnum TA. Let me back that one up. Bruiser Brody is the name I'm thinking of. Rob Van Dam is there. Lots of great material and shirts there. So go to onetruesport.com. I want to thank you, sir, for your time today.
Yes,
being
sir.
a part of the show with us as well. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you for all of your questions and everything, and for sticking around with us today for our doubleheader. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip to the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order. This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, @Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor. Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.